Welcome back. Interesting indeed. We're talking about the state of affairs as far as the country's economy is concerned. How will it look in the next few months? Let's start off the final round with Shiran Fernando, lead economist of Frontier Research. Shiran, are you still bullish about the country's economy? You have like two gentlemen, Dr. Vijayawardena and Dhanushka Samarasinghe, saying that things are not going that great at the moment. There needs to be reform, there has to be a political will. All these things are missing pieces in the puzzle, and you cannot complete the picture. And here you are, the only man standing, seems like it. Are you still bullish? Have you changed your mind in the last 1.5 hours? Or
not really.
What are your thoughts now?
Very much used to this, because this is kind of environment that, for example, when we present our economic views at forums and to our clients, we get this kind of negativity. But I think it's a turning point that needs to happen, and that will happen slowly if the government gets some of these quick wins done, stabilizes the economy, which is probably where we're headed towards. The media, for example, running negative stories as well as positive stories with equal analysis, because you're getting a lot of things when it's going negative. A lot of people are writing about it, going on about it, but when things are, certain things are positive, no one's even caring about it. So for example, one of the rating agencies, when they changed the outlook towards from negative to positive, no one really went with it, they just forgot about it. And then, for example, with this Sri Lanka development bond that I started off with, a 1.8% reduction in the yield, which is a significant amount. No one's really talking about it. Dr. Vijayawardena mentioned 4.7 billion of debt. 1.8 billion of that is SLDBs. We have rolled over about 1.3 billion of it, so we're not exactly in trouble. So the worst is not, it's not all doom and gloom, and we need to change those. We need to change the sentiment.
Okay, I just need to interrupt here for a second. Now you say that, I'm going to give you more time, Shiran. Before we wrap up, we need to get this thing cleared. Dr. Vijayawardena, Shiran is saying that we are not in trouble. I want to get your perspective on this. I'll give you time on your round as well, but I just want to get some thoughts on this.
I mean, it all depends on how we might be experiencing the best of the expectation during the next 2 to 3 month period. So I hope that the discussions which the Minister of Finance and the Governor of the Central Bank would be having with IMF top management in April to discuss the third tranche of EFF would be successful. If it is successful, of course we can get out of the current problem, but of course we are not in a very healthy situation right now, so we have to get some support from outside.
Shiran, in conclusion, I want to give you another opportunity, but I want to also bring in a quote that Mr. Charita Rathwat, the senior advisor to the Prime Minister's office, along with Dr. Bhaskar Lingam, had to say at an event held a month ago. I posed a question to them asking, what is the problem with the country's economy? And they said, execution. Then I asked them, what's the second problem? Then they said, execution. Then I asked them, okay, what is the third? And then they said, execution. And you are the only one standing tall and saying, no problem, the country's economy looks good.
I'm not saying that there's no problem.
Okay, so you are saying that there is an issue.
It has been an ongoing issue, but it's not all doom and gloom. There is a bit of light at the end of the tunnel, which we are not seeing.
We don't want to see a light end of this dark tunnel. We want to see a rainbow after we just go out of the tunnel.
That's the thing. That's my point about expectations.
That's the last thing that I want to see, a light.
That's my point about expectations. We have this huge expectation for rainbows and things like that, which are not possible. We need to recalibrate it.
So that has to be communicated by people like you.
Execute, and recalibrate expectations to get the low-lying fruits. Then everything else will come into place, and we won't, we'll see better light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully a rainbow as you want it.
Thank you very much, Shiran Fernando. I just hope and pray that light is just not a flashlight. It's going to be a lasting light end of the tunnel, and then we'll see the rainbow in a few years, in a few months, and then we see something good happening to the country. Dhanushka Samarasinghe, working as the head of research for the Soft Logic stock brokering firm. Nice to have you on board, Dhanushka. This is the first time that we were able to net a stockbroker to the show in the last 1 year or so we've tried. So thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate your commitment to enlighten the public about the future of the stock market. I want you to talk now as somewhat, not like a stockbroker, but as a civilian. If I have to invest my money right now, where must I invest? Let's take the stock market away from the equation for the moment. Where must I invest my money? So you're giving me free of charge advice about investing my money. So let's put it that way. So let's make it easy for you. Okay. In a minute, I'm giving you 1 minute.
One avenue, of course, is the market. Right. Then, of course, again, as a layman or civilian, where you believe in, right? What you are trying to do? Are you trying to do a business? Are you bullish on that sector you are going to enter? Then that, right? Or else, if you want to, if this is an island nation, right? It is a developing nation. Property. And then the newer technologies like the IT sector, which can sort of snowball into a bigger export earning avenues. These are things we might not be able to foresee at the moment, but it can become big. As Dr. Vijayavardhana pointed out, there is some R&D initiatives taking place. If somebody can sort of isolate those and make commercial use of it, that's where to invest.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you a question because you're a stockbroker. I asked you as a civilian, now I'm going to ask you a question about as you're a stockbroker. I have $1 million. Where must I invest my money?
Within the market, you mean to say, is it?
You're a stockbroker. I have $1 million. I am coming to you and asking you, where must I invest my money?
You can, tomorrow, you can visit me at my office, right? So I can give you the advice needed.
And now you sound like an exact stockbroker. Danushka, nice to have you on board. Thank you very much for joining us. Dr. W. Vijayavardhana, Doctor, I am going to ask you a question. Please don't tell me come tomorrow and I will answer. I'm going to expect an answer right now. A few months from now, end of the year, where do you see the country's economy? I asked you this question a few months ago as well. I'm asking this question from you again. Where is the country going to stand as far as the country's economy is concerned?
Well, we have a huge problem at hand, Samir, because economic growth has been slowing down. Exports have become stagnant or declining, and all these problems are there. So what matters to us right now is to live through the crisis and get some relief immediately in order to survive for another day, so that we can plan for the future economic growth of the country. So that's the present problem.
Do you think, Dr. Vijayavardhana, the government is doing enough at this point of time? Has the government got its priorities right?
I don't see that, because what I've seen is that when you listen to various senior cabinet ministers, they don't talk the same language. I mean, when one minister talks one language, another minister immediately counters that language. So as a result, the people outside the government will feel that there is no unity at all, and also they don't have a proper direction. So this is where we are now making so many mistakes, Samir, and we have to correct it if we want to move forward.
Dr. Vijayavardhana, if I say that we had a red light before the 2015 polls, we are yet to see a green light. It's still an amber.
No, we still have the red light.
We still have the red light.
Yeah.
So the patient is still in hospital.
Patient is in the hospital. I mean, there's no question about it.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vijayavardhana. That's something very interesting for you to be thinking about. The patient is still in the hospital. The patient here is the country's economy. Thank you very much, Shiran Fernando, for joining us this evening, lead economist, Frontier Research. Thank you very much, Dr. W. Vijayavardhana, former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, for joining us this evening. Has been very, very vocal on the country's economy on this very show. It's always a pleasure to have you on board, Dr. Vijayavardhana. Your input has been well appreciated and well communicated to the public. And even today, when you said that the country's economy is in hospital, that is something that the people of this nation has to take serious note of, including the government. And thank you very much, Danushka Samarasinghe, Head of Research at the SoftLogic stock brokering firm, for joining us this evening. I have an appointment with you tomorrow morning,
yes.
that's for sure.
Thank
you very much, Danushka, for joining us this evening. Thank you very much, Nadeem. Thank you very much, Charita, and thank you very much, Chaturang, for joining us this evening. 23 going on 24, any message as a youngster? What do you envisage as far as the country's economy is concerned?
My God.
Or must I come tomorrow and
no, of course I will have to come to you. With everything that these three eminent gentlemen has told us this evening, we think we, as a youngster, whoever, if anyone has the money to invest somewhere, I think they should go and meet Mr. Danushka tomorrow in the morning.
Right, if you have the money where to invest, my only advice to you is keep it with you at the moment. Don't invest anywhere, because the country's economy doesn't look that great. At home, you will have it safe. Thank you very much for joining us this evening, gentlemen. I leave you tonight with a quote, as I usually do. Don't be greedy for money, because things are going to be slow to come. Look closely at the present you are constructing. It should look like the future you are dreaming. Take care and good night.